So you're thinking about moving to Bellingham, Washington? Well, in this video, I'm going to take you on a Google Map tour of one of 29 distinct neighborhoods here in Bellingham, Washington. Today's map tour is the South Hill neighborhood right along Bellingham Bay. I'm going to show you why it is one of the most desirable neighborhoods here in Bellingham, Washington, with some of the most expensive homes in all of Bellingham, upwards of $2, $3, even $4 million. So without further ado, let's get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about eating, sleeping, playing, working, as well as the good and bad about living in Bellingham, Washington, then subscribe below and tap the bell icon for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Bellingham and surrounding areas. My name is Dale Serbasek and I'm with the Living in Bellingham, Washington team, and every single day we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking of moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Info's in the description below. We'll be happy to help you make that smooth move to the Bellingham, Washington area. Welcome to another Bellingham, Washington neighborhood map tour. Today we are going to be featuring the South Hill neighborhood, which is on the west side of Bellingham, Washington, on the south side as well. And it is one of the nicer neighborhoods here in the Bellingham, Washington area, if not the nicest, with some of the most expensive homes, upwards of $4 or $5 million. And to get into the South Hill neighborhood, you're looking at an entry point of around 1.3 to 1.5 million. Most of the homes in the South Hill neighborhood are Victorian style older homes that were built in the late 1800s, early 1900s. There are a few new construction homes as well, newer homes that have been built on infill lots, and there's a few condos and some duplexes as well, but it's a great place to live because one of the nicest things about living in the South Hill neighborhood is most of the properties are going to have great westerly views of Bellingham Bay. You're going to pick up those great sunsets and the wonderful bay views as well. There's a lot of charm in the neighborhood. It's very walkable. There's a few parks, and one of the nicest parks in the Bellingham, Washington area we're going to feature here in a minute is Boulevard Park. So without further ado, let's hop right into Google Maps. You can see the South Hill neighborhood, and it is on the west side of Bellingham. You can see the greater Bellingham, Washington area with I-5 going right down the middle. Of course, just a couple hours, you're going to get down to Seattle, and about an hour's drive north, and you could be to Vancouver, British Columbia. And as we zoom in a little bit closer, some of the main thoroughfares of the South Hill neighborhood, there's this main road that comes right through here along the water, and it changes names as it progresses down here and then goes south into the Fairhaven neighborhood. And down in this area, it's called 11th Street. Here, it's called South State Street, and then it turns into North State Street, and then finally Boulevard. And as we cross into this area here, we get close to the downtown Bellingham, Washington area. So zooming in a bit closer, as I mentioned before, the main highlight of the South Hill neighborhood is going to be Boulevard Park. And Boulevard Park is a great place to go watch the sunsets. It's a great place to hang out, have a picnic on a nice day. One of the nicest coffee shops, Woods Coffee. Zoom in a little bit closer here. It's probably the coffee shop with the best view in Bellingham, Washington. It's hard to get a seat in there. There's an outdoor patio as well, which is nice, so you can watch those great sunsets as well as the sailboats go by, people playing with their kids. There's also a nice stage, outdoor stage, that there's a lot of summertime concerts, and you will also see a lot of people walking their dogs. And I'm going to switch to the satellite view so you can get a better idea what that looks like. And there's also a beach area right here where you can walk in and go swimming on the nice summer days. Also, the interurban trail system comes into into Boulevard Park and extends on further up to the downtown area. And as we go a little bit further south here in the South Hill neighborhood, you can see this walkway that extends over the water. This is called Taylor Dock, and it winds its way down past the Chrysalis Spa, and it comes back up through here. And again, you can pick up the trail and head south to Fairhaven. And you can see there's some nice condos and different restaurants. The Chrysalis Spa is one of the nice places to stay in the Bellingham, Washington area if you're visiting. It's a great hotel. There's also a nice restaurant in there. You'll notice the train tracks run along here as well. And so a lot of the properties are going to be close to the train tracks. As a matter of fact, this condominium complex right here, I actually have a listing in here. It's a 1,700 square foot condo. These are all going to have spectacular views, of course, of the bay. And that condo actually is listed for just under $1 million, to give you an idea what you get for the money here in the South Hill neighborhood. Of course, again, you have these train tracks. They're slightly lower than most of the properties, so you're not going to necessarily see the train, but you're definitely going to hear it go by. And it does go by pretty frequently through the day. But most of the people say they get used to it, and I've yet to hear someone complain about living along here. Also, you'll notice the main way into Boulevard Park comes down this road, and on busier summer days when the weather's nice, the parking lot in Boulevard Park, which you can see is not very big right here, fills up very quickly. And if you can't find parking here, a lot of people will park along the road here, and there's some spots right in here as well that you can park. So you can also see there's some nice condominium complexes along here. Most of these are going to be 1 and 2 bedroom condos, and they're going to start around $600,000 upwards of $1 million, depending on the size of those condos. And as we extend further up this way, you can see the trail system coming along here. It goes up towards downtown. And like I mentioned before, most of the South Hill neighborhood is going to be on this slope. They call it South Hill because it's definitely a hill, and it slopes upwards this way towards Western Washington University, one of the state colleges, one of 3 state colleges here in the Bellingham area. And again, most of these homes are going to have views of the water. It's a great place to walk. I used to live on South Forest Street, right about there. And I walked all over this place. The houses are just so diverse and they're so interesting. And it's definitely going to be a place that you're going to want to spend some time. Most of the people moving to the Bellingham, Washington area love this particular neighborhood. And they say, hey, I want to get a house in here, but it is definitely expensive. So be sure to bring the checkbook. One of the schools in the South Hill neighborhood is Lowell Elementary. And this is an older school. It was actually closed for a few years, about 10 years ago, and they decided to reopen it. So it's again one of those schools where the kids are going to have great views of the bay, and I just do not know how they are able to get any work done. One of the parks in the South Hill neighborhood is Lowell Park, and I hesitate to call it a park because there's no real places to play for the kids or anything like that, but it is a nice little area you can walk around. There's some trails. There's no places for picnics, no pavilions or anything like that, but nonetheless, it is one of the parks here in the South Hill neighborhood. There are also a number of rental houses in the South Hill neighborhood that service Western Washington University students. As you can imagine, being so close, a lot of the students like to live in the South Hill neighborhood so that they can have a quick walk to Western Washington University. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of the South Hill neighborhood. Please hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon for notifications so you can be notified when new map tour videos come out. There are 29 neighborhoods here in the Bellingham, Washington area, and I'm going to be doing Google Map tours on all of them. And if you have lived in the South Hill neighborhood, please leave some comments below on what you liked and didn't like so that others can find out if the South Hill neighborhood might be right for them. So until next time, I hope to see you around town.